Hi there, and welcome to BSF Recovery Team and part 2 of the Mesabi Mountain Trail adventure. If you watched part 1, you'll know that this is our first run on this 4-mile state OHV trail just outside the city of Eveleth up on the Iron Range in northern Minnesota. And you will also know that we kind of underestimated this trail. My original plan was to run this trail in the morning and be out by noon. It didn't take me long to figure out that we would be lucky if we made it to the lookout by lunchtime, which is only about 2 miles in from the trailhead. In part 1, we left you hanging just as we were leaving the lookout after a much needed break for lunch. The climb back down from the lookout was sure a whole lot easier than the climb up, but that really didn't last long. As soon as we got back onto the trail and into the woods, it was right back to carefully picking our way through a very slippery, slimy, boulder-strewn trail.
That means that this is where Lance broke his ankle when he was out here scouting for the trail.
I'm not sure if this story is 100% correct, but the rumor is that my friend Lance was out here scouting for this trail on foot, and he fell down this hill and ended up breaking his ankle. And after hobbling out the 3 miles or so to his Jeep, the initial pain had wore off. So, like a lot of stubborn northern Minnesota Iron Rangers, he didn't go straight to the doctor. If I remember the story correctly, it wasn't until 2 years later, when his ankle hadn't healed, that he finally had it checked out. And that's when he found out he had actually broken it. And of course, it didn't heal right. Anyway, I believe that's how this hill got its name.
Take a look.
See the sign? So do you think you're gonna make it?
Before we break something, I think we best pull cable on this one.
The camera angle is a little deceiving here. This was actually a pretty steep climb, and of course the mud didn't make it any easier. Even though there wasn't any spectators around that we had to warn that we were doing a winch operation, we still put our orange winch blankets over the cable. It's a good habit to get into, and in the event that a cable breaks, it just might help keep an injury from happening. When you're winching a vehicle and driving a vehicle at the same time, remember not to overdrive your winch cable. The last thing you want in times like these is a big snarl of winch cable on your winch drum. When using winch blankets, you have to keep an eye on them too. You don't want to suck one of them up into the winch drum.
Better to take a little time, pull cable, and save the truck.
The Jeep, being a little bit smaller and a lot lighter, had no trouble climbing Broken Ankle Hill. Now that we were both up the hill, it was time to load up and head on down the trail, because we still had quite a ways to go. We were burning daylight, and I'm sure there were more difficult spots to come. Difficult spots like this one, which I think was called Elephant Back. It was a long, narrow outcropping of rock that kind of resembled trying to drive down an elephant's back.
Gotta go look again. Whole lot easier coming through there in the Jeep than it is the wrecker.
I can fit on the skinny side.
Yeah.
After all this time we've spent on the trail, I figured we must be getting pretty close to the end, but it was still awful slow going with the wrecker. And we finally found it, the end of the trail.
My buddy Lance and the Minnesota Jeepers, boy, they made quite a trail here. Let me just show you one of the climbs that's here near the end of the trail, and it's called 10-10-10. We'll walk down the easiest side of the climb here and show you the other two from the bottom. And as it looks like, there's been a lot of people climbing this one, but I don't don't see that there's a lot that have climbed that wall. And this wall over here, well, looks like there's been a fair amount that's tried, but judging by the top, I would say there's only been a few that have made it. Anyway, this trail is a dead-end trail, so we have to turn around and travel everything over again to get out.
It was late afternoon. It took us a long time to get here, so we didn't waste any time turning around and heading out. Thanks for watching BSF Recovery Team. Join us in our next video for part 3 of the Mesabi Mountain Trail adventure and see if we make it out before dark. You can also follow the BSF Recovery Team on Facebook or join a new group that we started called Off-Road Trail Trucks. Remember, if you want to help support the BSF Recovery Team and this channel, check out our products at our Gear Bubble store. You can find a link in the header on our channel page. Keep wheeling, stay safe, and maybe we'll see you out there in the woods.